Hello, history aficionados and curious minds. Welcome back to the Alternate History channel, where we explore the vast tapestry of history and tug on those threads of what could have been. If you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and join our ever-growing community of history enthusiasts. For our regulars, it's fantastic to see you back. Today, we're traveling to the dawn of classical Greece, to a fateful day where the mighty Persian Empire clashed with the fledgling city-state of Athens. The Battle of Marathon is one of those monumental moments in history where the outcome set the stage for centuries to come. But what if that day had ended differently? What if Athens had tasted defeat instead of the sweet victory we know of? Prepare for a journey into a world where the waves of the Aegean tell a different tale and where the pillars of Western civilization might have been chiseled with different hands. Let's dive right in. The ancient world was a realm of mighty empires and nascent city-states, forever locked in a dance of power and ambition. At the dawn of the 5th century BCE, two of the most prominent players on this stage were the sprawling Achaemenid Empire of Persia and the fledgling city-states of Greece. Athens, in particular, was making strides as a beacon of democracy, philosophy and culture. But history was at a critical juncture. The Greco-Persian Wars, a series of confrontations between Greece and Persia, threatened to reshape the landscape of the known world. One of the first and most pivotal of these confrontations was the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE. Persian King Darius I, angered by the Athenian support for the Ionian revolt against Persian rule, dispatched a massive invasion force against Athens. The Persians, known for their vast armies and seasoned warriors, were a formidable foe. With over 25,000 men, they landed on the plains of Marathon, just a few miles from Athens. The Athenians, although heavily outnumbered with a force of about 10,000, chose to confront this mighty foe on the open field. The historical account tells us that against all odds, Athens won the day. Using superior tactics, including the famous double envelopment, and driven by a fierce desire to protect their homeland and way of life, the Athenians managed a stunning victory. The Persian forces were routed, and Marathon became a symbol of Greek resistance against foreign tyranny. But what if this iconic battle had taken a different turn? What if, on that fateful day, Athenian valor was not enough? What if Athens had lost the Battle of Marathon? The repercussions of such an outcome would not just alter the fate of Athens, but send ripples through the annals of history, redefining the trajectory of Western civilization. As we delve into this alternate timeline, it's essential to note the backdrop against which this battle took place. Persia, under the rule of Darius, was looking to expand its territories and influence. Athens was just one, albeit significant, hurdle in this grand design. If Athens had fallen, who would have stood against the Persian tide? The dust settles on the plains of Marathon. Persian banners, displaying the symbol of the Faravaha, flutter triumphantly in the wind, standing testament to a Persian victory. The Athenians in this alternate history were unable to replicate their historical surprise attack or effectively use the terrain to their advantage, leading to a resounding defeat. Their forces, scattered and demoralized, retreat towards Athens. Without the morale boost from a victory at Marathon, the rapid run from Marathon to Athens, which gave birth to the modern marathon race, doesn't take place. Instead, the Persian army, realizing the vulnerability of a defeated and demoralized Athens, quickly advances toward the city. Athens, still recovering from the shock of the unexpected defeat, faces internal strife. Some factions advocate for a desperate last stand, while others, fearing utter destruction, suggest offering terms of surrender to Darius. In our alternate scenario, the latter group gains the upper hand. Rather than face destruction, Athens negotiates terms with Persia, becoming a submissive state within the vast Achaemenid Empire. This submission of Athens leads to a domino effect throughout the Greek city-states. Seeing the might of Persia and the fall of a key city like Athens, many other city-states opt for a strategic alliance or outright submission to Persia rather than risk annihilation. However, Sparta, ever the rival of Athens and famed for its warrior culture, does not bend the knee so quickly. While the historical alliance between Sparta and Athens against the Persian threat in later years is a testament to their unity in the face of a common enemy, in this timeline, things play out differently. Without the bolstering effect of an Athenian victory at Marathon, Sparta remains wary of direct confrontation, choosing instead to fortify its position and maintain a precarious neutrality. The Ionian city-states, whose revolt against Persia was a significant catalyst for the Marathon invasion, suffer a different fate. With no resounding Athenian victory to inspire further revolts or hopes of liberation, they remain firmly under Persian control. Their aspirations for independence are quelled, at least for the time being. While Persia's dominance in the region is solidified, it's essential to understand that the Achaemenid Empire was not known for ruthless tyranny over its subjects. Instead, it often allowed a degree of autonomy, provided that tributes were paid and loyalty was ensured. Athens, while subdued, is not raised or enslaved. Instead, it continues to exist, albeit under the shadow of Persian influence and governance. However, its democratic ideals, philosophy, and cultural advancements face new challenges under this foreign yoke. With the entirety of the Hellenic world under its belt, or at least in its sphere of influence, Persia's golden age reaches new heights. Athens, though reduced in political power, still remains a hub of culture, philosophy, and knowledge. The Persians, with their policy of local governance, might even incorporate some Athenian democratic principles into their vast administrative machine, leading to a fascinating blend of Hellenic and Persian political thought. However, with Persia's dominance, certain aspects of Greek culture we revere today might not shine as brightly in this timeline. The emphasis on humanism, individual rights, and democratic governance would have been curtailed. While Greek culture itself wouldn't disappear, its trajectory would be markedly different. We might see a version of Hellenistic culture that is more Persian influenced than what historically unfolded after Alexander's conquests. Speaking of Alexander, the young Macedonian's destiny would undoubtedly shift in this alternate world. Without the backdrop of unified Greek resistance against Persian dominion, Alexander might never be galvanized to embark on his historic Eastern campaign. Instead, Macedonia, powerful yet without the impetus of a pan-Hellenic cause, may focus its ambitions elsewhere, possibly leading expeditions into Europe or consolidating power in the Balkans. Rome, in its nascent stages during the time of Marathon, would also experience a different eastern frontier. With Persia exerting influence over the Greek city-states, Rome's eventual conflicts with the Hellenic world, including the pivotal Punic Wars against Carthage, would have a different flavor. The amalgamation of Greek and Roman cultures, a defining feature of the Roman Empire, might take on a more Persian tint. Fast forward a few centuries, and the birth of Christianity might also be influenced. A Persia-tinged Hellenistic culture would provide a different context for the early Christian church. While it's challenging to predict religious evolutions, it's possible that Zoroastrian, Greek, and early Christian beliefs intermingle in unique ways. As the Persian-influenced Hellenistic culture becomes more established, other areas of the known world also take notice. Trade routes shift slightly, with Persia's dominion over the Greek mainland offering even greater access to the treasures and goods of the East. The Silk Road, although still in its infancy, begins to see a marked increase in Greek-Persian goods, leading to cultural exchanges that enrich both the East and West. Carthage, a burgeoning maritime power, sees the change in Hellenistic politics as an opportunity. Their alliances shift, and with Persia now influencing Greece, they might be emboldened to make moves in Sicily and the Italian peninsula with lesser fear of Hellenic intervention. This reshuffles the deck for Rome's early expansionist plans. In the north, Celtic and Germanic tribes, who once might have clashed with the Macedonians or other Hellenic forces, now turn their attention more towards Central Europe and the Iberian Peninsula. The movements of these tribes, in turn, shape the early identities of regions we now recognize as France, Spain, and Germany. In the scholarly hubs of this world, such as Alexandria, the mesh of Greek and Persian knowledge leads to innovations in astronomy, medicine, and engineering. The Library of Alexandria, with its vast repositories, might even have texts on Zoroastrian cosmology beside works of Socratic thought. It's a dynamic and interconnected world, where the tides of culture, politics, and trade flow in slightly different yet fascinating directions. The loss at Marathon, seemingly just a military defeat, alters the mosaic of ancient civilizations, creating a tapestry that is both familiar and exotic to our historical understanding. And there you have it, fellow history enthusiasts, a world reshaped by the outcome of just one battle. The ripples of the Battle of Marathon touched every corner of the ancient world, and its altered result in our exploration showcases the delicate balance upon which the trajectory of civilizations can hinge. While the story of our real timeline is rich with the legacies of Athens' golden age and the development of Western ideas, this alternate path reminds us of the fragility of historical moments and their profound, long-lasting impacts. Thank you for joining us on another journey through the intriguing maze of what-ifs. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you envision a world with the victorious Persian Empire at Marathon? And as always, if you enjoyed our exploration, do give us a thumbs up and share with fellow history buffs. Stay curious, keep questioning, and we'll see you in our next deep dive into the ever-fascinating realms of alternate history.